Chapter 1. The Fall. When everything breaks. Have you ever had a moment when everything you built came crashing down? Picture this. You're standing in the middle of a room. The walls are cracked. The floor is shaking. Everything you believed in, your job, your relationship, your dream is collapsing, and you're frozen, not because you don't care, but because you don't know how to begin again. Sound familiar? Because here's the truth. Resilience doesn't start with strength. It starts with surrender. Let me tell you about J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was broke, depressed, rejected by 12 publishers. She said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." Have you ever hit rock bottom and wondered if you'd ever rise again? Here's the truth. Failure isn't the end. It's the invitation. Think about Steve Jobs. He was fired from his own company. Humiliated. Lost. But he said, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me." Let me tell you about Mai built a startup. She poured her heart into it, and then it failed. She cried. She doubted. She disappeared until one day she walked into a cafe, opened her laptop, and started again, not because she had a plan, but because she had a pulse. So the next time life breaks you, ask yourself, is this the end or the beginning of something deeper? Because resilience doesn't begin with answers. It begins with the decision to stand. In Chapter 2, we'll explore how pain becomes power and why your scars are the proof that you survive. Ready to turn wounds into wisdom? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 2. Scars into Strength. When pain becomes power. Have you ever looked at your past and wished you could erase it? Let's talk about pain, not the kind you can bandage. I mean the invisible kind, the heartbreak, the rejection, the failure that left you breathless. Because here's the truth. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about transforming it. Let me tell you about Oprah Winfrey. She was a bust as a child. She was told she wasn't good enough. She was fired from her first job. But she said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." And she did. She built an empire, not in spite of her pain, but because of it. Have you ever tried to hide your scars, thinking they made you weak? Here's the truth. Your scars are proof that you lived. Proof that you fought, proof that you healed. Think about Malala Yousafzai. She was shot for speaking out. She could have stayed silent. She could have disappeared. But she said, when the whole world is silent, even one voice becomes powerful. Let me tell you about Nam. Nam failed his university entrance exam. He felt ashamed. He isolated himself. But one day, he wrote a blog post, shared his story, and thousands said, "Me too." He turned his pain into a platform, and now he helps others rise. So the next time you feel broken, ask yourself, what if this pain is the beginning of my power? Because resilience doesn't erase the past. It reclaims it. In Chapter 3, we'll explore how resilience is built in the small moments and why daily choices matter more than dramatic comebacks. Ready to find strength in the ordinary? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 3. The Power of Small. Building Resilience, one choice at a time. Have you ever felt like healing was too far away, so you didn't even try? Let's talk about small steps, not breakthroughs, not dramatic comebacks. I mean the quiet decisions, the ones no one sees. The ones that whisper, brush your teeth, go for a walk, send that email. Because here's the truth, resilience isn't built in leaps. It's built in inches. Let me tell you about Admiral William E. Craven. He gave a famous speech, if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. Why? Because small wins create momentum, and momentum creates belief. Have you ever waited for a big moment to feel better? Here's the truth. Healing doesn't come in waves. It comes in drops. Think about you. Have you ever said, "I'll start when I feel stronger"? Let me tell you about Lynn. Lynn went through a breakup. She stopped eating, stopped working, stopped believing. Until one day she made a list, drink water, call a friend, write one sentence. She did it. Then did it again. Then again. And slowly she came back. Not because she had a breakthrough, but because she had a rhythm. So the next time life feels too heavy, ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do today? Because resilience isn't loud. it's loyal. In Chapter 4, we'll explore how resilience is rooted in self-compassion and why being kind to yourself is the bravest thing you can do. Ready to stop fighting yourself and start healing? Let's go. Chapter 4, the courage to be kind. Resilience begins with self-compassion. Have you ever spoken to yourself in a way you'd never speak to someone you love? Let's talk about self-talk, not affirmations. I mean a voice inside your head, the one that says, you're a failure. You should have known better. You're not enough. Because here's the truth. Resilience doesn't grow in shame. It grows in compassion. Let me tell you about Brené Brown. She's a researcher who studies vulnerability. She said, talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. She discovered that people who are resilient aren't harder on themselves. They're kinder. Have you ever punished yourself for falling when what you needed was a hand to help you up? Here's the truth. You can't heal while hating yourself. Think about Michael Phelps. He's the most decorated Olympian in history. But he battled depression. He said, I was very good at compartmentalizing. But eventually, everything spilled over. His healing began when he stopped hiding and started accepting. Let me tell you about me. But lost her job. She blamed herself. She replayed every mistake until one day she wrote herself a letter, not of criticism, but of kindness. She said, you tried, you cared, you're still worthy. And that letter became her turning point. So the next time you fall, ask yourself, what would I say to a friend in this moment? Then say it to yourself. Because resilience isn't just about pushing through. It's about softening in. In Chapter 5, we'll explore how connection fuels resilience and why you don't have to rise alone. Ready to let others in and heal together? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 5, Healing Together, the Power of Connection in Resilience. Have you ever felt like you had to carry it all alone? Let's talk about isolation, not solitude. I mean the kind of loneliness that pain creates. The kind that whispers, no one understands. I shouldn't burden anyone. I have to be strong. Because here's the truth. Resilience doesn't grow in silence. It grows in connection. Let me tell you about Glennon Doyle. She's a best-selling author and activist. She said, we can do hard things, but we don't have to do them alone. Her healing began when she stopped pretending and started sharing. Have you ever kept your pain hidden, thinking it made you weak? Here's the truth. Your vulnerability is your bridge to others, to healing, to strength. Think about Robin Williams. He made the world laugh, but inside, he was hurting. What if someone had asked, how are you really? Let me tell you about Fook. Fook lost his father. He didn't cry, didn't talk, just worked until one day a friend said, I miss him too. And that moment broke the silence, opened the heart, started the healing. So the next time you feel alone, ask yourself, who can I let in? Because resilience isn't just personal. It's communal. In Chapter 6, we'll explore how resilience is built through meaning and why purpose transforms pain into power. Ready to find the deeper reason behind your comeback? Let's go. Chapter 6, Purpose over Pain, Finding Meaning in the Struggle. What if your pain was pointing you towards your purpose? Let's talk about meaning. Not just goals. I mean the deeper reason, the thing that makes you say, this matters. I'm not done yet. There's something bigger than this moment. Because here's the truth. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back. It's about rising with purpose. Let me tell you about Viktor Frankl. He survived the Holocaust. He lost everything, but he wrote Man's Search for Meaning, a book that changed the world. He said, those who have a why to live can bear almost any. How? Have you ever asked yourself, why am I still here? Here's the truth. Your pain isn't random. It's a signal, a doorway, a calling. Think about Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison. He could have given up, but he said, I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. His purpose, justice, unity, legacy. Let me tell you about Nguyen. Nguyen lost her brother in a car accident. She was shattered. But she started volunteering at a trauma center. Then she studied psychology. Then she opened a grief support group. Her pain became her path. So the next time you ask why me, ask instead, what is this trying to teach me? Because resilience isn't just survival, it's significance. In Chapter 7, we'll explore how resilience is sustained through rituals, and why daily practices anchor you when everything feels uncertain. Ready to build your emotional foundation? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 7, Rituals of Resilience. Anchoring yourself in uncertainty. Have you ever felt like life was spinning and you had nothing to hold on to? Let's talk about rituals, not routines, not productivity hacks. I mean sacred rhythms, the quiet anchors, the daily practices that whisper, you're safe, you're grounded, you're still here. Because here's the truth, resilience isn't just emotional. It's architectural. Let me tell you about Maya Angelou. She had a ritual. She rented a hotel room. She brought a Bible, a bottle of sherry, and a legal pad. She wrote every day. She said, you might not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Her ritual was her resistance. Have you ever felt like you were drowning in chaos? Here's the truth. You don't need control. You need rhythm. Think about LeBron James. He has a pre-game ritual. Stretching, visualization, breathing. Not just for performance, but for presence. Let me tell you about Chang. Chang battled anxiety. She tried therapy, tried medication, still felt lost until she created a morning ritual. Wake up at 6, light a candle, journal for 10 minutes, drink tea in silence, and slowly her nervous system softened. Her mind cleared, her resilience returned. So the next time life feels unstable, ask yourself, what ritual can I create to remind myself I'm okay? Because resilience isn't just reactive, it's rhythmic. In Chapter 8, we'll explore how resilience transforms identity and why you'll come back and redefine who you are. Ready to become someone stronger than your story? Let's go. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 8, Reinventing Identity, Becoming Stronger Than Your Story. Have you ever looked in the mirror and not recognized who you used to be? Let's talk about identity, not your job, not your achievements. I mean the core of who you are after the storm. Because here's the truth, resilience doesn't just restore, it redefines. Let me tell you about Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote Eat, Pray, Love after a painful divorce. She said, ruin is a gift. Ruin is the road to transformation. Her pain didn't just break her, it rebuilt her. Have you ever tried to go back to normal, only to realize that version of you no longer exists? Here's the truth, you're not meant to go back, you're meant to evolve. Think about Muhammad Ali. He didn't just fight in the ring. He fought for identity, for dignity, for transformation. He said, I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit, suffer now, and live the rest of your life as a champion. Let me tell you about Quinn. Quinn lost her business during the pandemic. She felt like a failure, but she started painting, then teaching art, then opened a studio. She said, I didn't rebuild my business. I rebuilt myself. So the next time you feel like you've lost who you were, ask yourself, who am I becoming? Because resilience isn't about returning, it's about reinventing. In Chapter 9, we'll explore how resilience becomes legacy and why your comeback story can inspire others to rise. Ready to turn your healing into hope for someone else? Let's go. Chapter 9, From Recovery to Legacy, Inspiring Others Through Your Comeback. What if your healing became someone else's hope? Let's talk about legacy, not fame, not fortune. I mean the ripple effect, the quiet impact, the story someone tells because of you. Because here's the truth, resilience is not just personal, it's contagious. Let me tell you about Bethany Hamilton. She lost her arm in a shark attack. She could with surfing. She could disappeared. But she said, I don't need easy. I just need possible. She kept surfing, kept showing up, and now she inspires millions. Have you ever thought your story was too messy to matter? Here's the truth. Your scars are someone else's survival guide. Think about Nick Fujishik. He was born without arms or legs. He was bullied. He was suicidal. But he said, if you can't get a miracle, become one. Let me tell you about two. Two battled depression. He didn't talk about it. Until one day, he shared his story online. Thousands responded. I thought I was alone. Now he runs a support community, not because he's perfect, but because he's honest. So the next time you wonder if your comeback matters, ask yourself, who might be watching me rise? Because resilience isn't just recovery, it's legacy. In Chapter 10, we'll bring it all together and explore how resilience becomes a way of life. Ready to live with strength, softness, and soul. Let's finish strong. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to watch new videos every day. Chapter 10. Resilience as a way of life. Living with strength, softness, and soul. What if resilience wasn't just something you needed, but something you became? Let's talk about lifestyle, not habits, not hacks. I mean the way you walk through the world, the way you breathe through chaos, the way you rise, not once, but always. Because here's the truth, resilience isn't a moment, it's a rhythm. Let me tell you about Nelson Mandela again. He didn't just survive prison, he led a nation, he forgave, he rebuilt. He said, I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. Have you ever thought resilience was only for emergencies? Here's the truth. It's for every day. Think about nature. A tree bends in the storm. A river carves through stone. A seed breaks open to grow. Let me tell you about you. Yes, you, Kelvin. You've walked through every chapter. You've faced the fall. You've honored your pain. You've taken small steps. You've shown yourself compassion. You've let others in. You've found meaning. You've viewed rituals. You've reinvented your identity. You've inspired others. And now you're ready to live it. So the next time life shakes you, ask yourself, what would resilience do right now? Then do that, because resilience isn't just recovery. It's rebirth. It's rhythm. It's you.